Welcome to practice. I'm Donna Cavanough, and we're going to begin with kneeling today. So it's important to have enough support under your sit bones so that your knees are comfortable. I'm just going to fold my blanket into a little pillow here. And if kneeling just does not work for your knees, what I'd like you to do is start with standing, and you're going to give the front of your toes and your foot a stretch, and you can move your heels side to side and stretch across the front of your feet. So if you're not kneeling, start with standing and stretching the front of your toes and your feet. Kneeling people sitting on your equipment, so your heels are under your hips. We're drawing the shoulder blades down and lifting the spine. The standing people, hopefully you're getting that nice stretch for your toes and your feet, front of your ankles. Take it nice and easy. You can bring your attention to your breathing. And if you're standing, you need to do both of your feet. Good. And then we're all going to come up to standing. So just remembering how important that kneeling movement is for the health of our legs and feet. And do it as much as you're able to fit into your day. If you watch TV or something sedentary like that, try and move and just kneel for a minute or so in that action. We're going to start at the front of the mat into Tadasana. Bend your knees and roll your body forward. And then roll your body up. And we're going to take the arms up. We're going to keep a lot of space in the shoulder joint. So let the tops of your shoulders move where you need to for comfortable feeling in your shoulder joint. Good. And then we bend the knees and we roll forward again. So we're going to do this action and start to follow the breath. And as you start to warm up into this, let your body feel a little more elastic, a joyful kind of expression in your joints. You can even swing your arms a little bit when you get down. Take the arms back behind you, swing them up. But just making sure you keep space in your shoulders. Good. And you can even add in on the lifting up of the torso and the arms, lift up onto your tiptoes. And then back down onto your heels when you come down. Lifting up onto your tiptoes, and then down onto your heels. Good. Getting some nice elastic feeling in there. I keep going off balance. All right. Standing into Tadasana now. I'm going to bring the hands in front of the heart. Bend your knees and have a look at your feet and your legs. So we definitely want hip width parallel feet and legs. And the hands are in the heart. We're going to bring the spine forward and relax your shoulders so they feel spacious and relaxed. And then we're going to turn just the ribs, not the right knee forward. So just the ribs, and turn around to your left and then back to center. And just the ribs and turning around to your right. You can look over your shoulder. We're going to keep going. So the knees today pretty much lined up with each other. Good. Back to center. Notice how much or how little your ribs turn. Paying attention to your movement, keeping the leg parallel and even. Nice work. And then straightening up. And Tadasana. Feeling both feet on the floor, feeling the lift of your front body, the reaching down of your back body. But let's keep some easy space in the shoulders, even wriggle them around a bit. Upper arms rolling out, palms in. And the back of your neck feeling really comfortably balanced. Okay, we're going to pick up the right leg and be balanced on the left leg. And you don't have to pick the foot up high, but really keep your Tadasana balance. Feel the core of your body lifting, holding you balanced. Good. So when you put your right foot back down, you know exactly where you're going to put it, and then you just transfer your weight. Transfer the weight all the way into the right foot, and the left foot lifts. It doesn't have to be high, but really keeping your Tadasana feeling in the core of the body. Good. And we're going to keep going from side to side and realizing that you really can balance here. One leg can feel strong enough to hold you up. Nice feeling. Good. Keep your neck relaxed, your shoulders relaxed. Good. Let's do one more each side. Keeping the core of the body really sustaining you here. So lift the belly and lengthen the lower back. Tadasana. Okay, so let's try that same kind of idea of really feeling stable and balanced on one leg. We're going to pick up the left leg and take it out in front this time and straighten it out. Good. And then take it behind you and lean your torso forward a little, just hinging at the hip crease so you're not leaning forward by bending your spine. Spines of the spine forward, shoulders nice and relaxed. Take your left leg back. Good. And then take your left leg out to the left side so you're leaning your torso a little to the right. Back to upright. And then you know just where you're going to put your foot down without falling into position. Great. Left leg. Find your stable core. Right leg goes out in front. Right leg goes behind. Just let the torso follow as a counterweight. Right leg out to the right side. Torso goes left. And come back up to standing straight and see if you can hold your balance before you put your foot down. Great. So we'll do that again. I'm going to face this way in case you can't see. So we're trying to keep the torso and the neck in one alignment, not bending the back to try and make up for the imbalance, if we are imbalanced in the hip. All right, so we'll lift up the left leg out in front, and you can go higher. You can lift as high as feels practical. Good, and then behind, and the same thing, you can go as high with your leg and reach forward as far as feels practical in your body. Keep your hips level to the floor. Beautiful. Let's come back up to center and then take the left leg out to the left side. So your torso is a counterweight. Come back up and center yourself before you put your, put your left leg down. Nice work. Tadasana. Feeling the core work in your body. Good. And then lift up the right leg. You can lift as high as you can. Whoa. And then behind you. Good. So the torso leans forward without changing the alignment of your spine. Good. Just as high as feels good. And then back up to center. And let's take the leg out to the side. So the torso tips as a counterweight to the left. back up to center. And with intention, placing your foot where you know it wants to go. All right. And then we're going to do Uttanasana. So let's take the arms up and we'll keep the shoulders really soft as we do that. And then as you exhale, bringing the torso forward, the bones of the spine forward, bring your hands onto your legs. And we're going to be straightening the legs one at a time. Feeling that your back is at an ease, so there's no tension of the skin pulling taut. The tension really is the work of bringing the bones of the spine forward. And we're getting the legs nice and straight. Good, bend your knees and rolling up. And spacious shoulders, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Good. All right, from the front of your mat, you're probably still there. We're going to take the arms up, spacious shoulders, looking up. Take the arms behind you and hold your wrists or your forearms or your elbows and take the torso forward. And we feel the spine pressing forward. Good. And the legs a little bit bent here so that the torso can reach further. So you reach as far as you can with your back, your range of movement. And we're trying not to create a hill over the lower back. Trying not to make the skin tense there. So keep bringing those bones, the sacrum, the lower spine, towards the front of your torso. Neck nice and relaxed, shoulders spacious. Great. And then try bending and straightening your legs alternately. And you can even try straightening both your legs together if that feels like it's not tightening up your lower back. Otherwise, do one at a time. And finding that flow of breath. Lovely. And then we're going to bend the knees. We're going to roll up and release your arms all the way up and feel spacious in your shoulders. Looking up and then Tadasana. Powerfully lifting the front of your legs, kneecaps, quadriceps, front of the hips, shoulder blades reaching down, tailbone reaching down. Okay. Holding the elbows now, but above your head. So take the arms up, holding the elbows. And we're going to bend the knees and reach the torso as far forward as feels good for your back. And we try to avoid the skin becoming tight across the sacrum or along the sacrum and the lower back. So keep tipping the pelvis forward. Nice. So bend your knees enough to keep that more relaxed feeling in your spine. We're going to really lift the pelvic floor and engage the core body. And then we're going to draw circles in front of us with the elbows. So the torso is lifting a little, going up to the left, down, over to the right. So drawing a circle. And we're feeling stable in the core of the body, and you feel that stretch change across the back of the legs. Beautiful. Other direction. Great. And then we're going to bend the knees, and we're going to arm and arm up. Lovely. All right. Now I want to hold a stretch for a few breaths. If your hands don't reach the floor with ease when you're in your forward bend, or it forces that tight tension into your lower back, then you could put your hands up on your couch. So anything that sort of height. Because it's nice to have your hands resting on something. In class, I get people to use the yoga blocks, but
We haven't got all that equipment hanging around here. Okay, but we're trying to avoid that feeling of the skin pulling really tight over the sacrum. So we're trying to tip the top of the sacrum forward, bring the bones of the lower back forward. You can have your legs bent if that feels better in your back. And then try your one at a time straightening. Or you can give both a go, but if it pulls your back, just go for the alternate. And we try to find some length and ease in the torso, the side ribs, the armpits, and the neck. Feeling that flow of breath as the body starts to feel a little easier in the posture. Beautiful. And then we'll bend the knees and inhale and roll all the way up. And take your arms up so your shoulders feel spacious. Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. Lovely. All right, we're going to step the feet apart. You can jump or step, however you like to practice your movement. And we're going to have feet wider than your leg is long. Turn the toes out and bend your knees a little. All right, so the pelvis heads down, but we want to really have internal muscular support. So really lift the pelvic floor and the lower front belly. And we're going to straighten one leg and bend the other. And just explore that movement. But all the while, lifting the pelvic floor. Okay, and you might be able to dip the hips down deeper so the bend of the legs is stronger. You put your hands on your thighs. But notice if you're really leaning into your hands, you can, but you could also try hands in front of the heart. Whoa. So the hips are getting a little bit lower, I'm hoping, but the pelvic floor is really lifting, and lower front abdomen. All right, now we're going to hold both legs nice and deeply bent and lifting pelvic floor, belly, lift the chest. And holding and breathing. Beautiful. And then we're going to straighten the legs. Nice work. Let's jump or step or wiggle back to Tadasana. Finding your alignment. A lift in the front body. Relaxed, spacious shoulders. Powerful legs. All right. We're going to bring hands in front of the heart. Step your feet out again, and it's for Trikonasana. So your feet are your leg length distance. We'll turn the right foot out at 90 degrees and line up your right heel with the center of your left foot in the arch. We've got nice strong legs. Hands are in front of the heart, and we're going to try moving the hips so that they face more the long edge of the mat. And you just pay attention to your knees here. If that's a good movement, it could be a difficult movement sometimes if you have an injury. And arms out from your shoulders. And we're going to reach with the right arm and the right rib. And find your Trikonasana. So we've warmed up the hamstrings and they'll be less in the way here. We've warmed up the hips a little. But what about lengthening the side waist? So what we're going to do is wave a little. So you're going to wave and make a big banana shape with your spine over to the right. And then we're going to lift up. And then we're going to try and lift the right ribs and wave them even further. And we're going to do that about 3 or 4 times. Good. Enjoying your strong, stable legs. And we're trying to wave the sides of the spine a little bit longer each time. And the next time you wave in that direction, you're going to hold your Trikonasana. Arms to the vertical. Reaching back with your left hand. Breathing deeply. Sides of the neck. Ah. Ooh. Feeling the flow of your breath. Nice work. And then we lift up. And change sides. Left heel lines up with center of the right foot in an arch. And we've got the hips fairly level to the mat. And we're going to reach the left arm over to the left. Arms to the vertical. Trikonasana. All right. So let's wave with the intention of lengthening both sides of the waist. So waving your spine into a banana shape and then a reverse, a valley shape, or an upside down banana. Ah, good. So trying to lengthen your left ribs, your right ribs. One more. And when you really have reached as far as you can go, holding your Trikonasana. Ah. With the breath, you might find that you can keep lengthening your side waist. Beautiful, strong core of the body and lifting up. Ooh, bring the hands back in front of the heart. Step the feet in or jump in or wiggle in, whatever feels good for your hips, your feet, your back. Tadasana. Mm. Mm. Okay, we're going to take Uttanasana again, standing forward bend. And you're going to reach or hold your hands on your leg. So we're trying to find that nice easy spine again, avoiding the feeling of the skin stretching or being taut of the back. Okay, and you can have your legs bent, of course, if you need to. And we're finding the breath. All right, but we're going to take the right hand now and put it on the outside of your left leg. And you can reach and hold your foot or further than your foot if you like, wherever your body is comfortable moving to. And put your left hand on your sacrum. And we're going to try and turn our rib and really reach the right hand. So we're working to look for stretch in your left lower back, left ribs. Finding the flow of breath, although it feels a little impeded here because the diaphragm is probably going to be being held by the ribs. Keep your neck nice and long and relaxed. Beautiful. You can try straightening your left leg. Great. And then we're going to come back to center where your hands were up on your legs a little bit, unless you're comfortable bending forward. And your hands are on the floor. And then we do the opposite. So we reach with the left hand to the right outside of the right foot or the floor beyond, and the right hand on the sacrum. And then we turn the ribs to the right. Ooh, so the right shoulder is lifting. Keep the neck nice and long. And we're looking for our stretch here in the left lower back, the left ribs. So walk your left fingers as far as you can. Good, and try to straighten your right leg. Ah, finding your breath and your neck at ease. That's lovely. And then come back to center and rolling up. Whoa. And we'll take some nice big shoulder rolls, keeping your shoulder joints very spacious. You feel like there's lots of padding there. Lots of easy movement and other direction. Lovely. And then let's just try our squatting. So even if you're not able to sit on the floor yet without using your hands, we practice our squatting. So we'll have the heels a little bit wider than the hips, toes turned out. And you squat to where you get to with your heels still on the floor, even if it's just a little movement, and really lift your quadriceps, lift the pelvic floor. And some people can take their sit bones closer without the heels coming off the floor. So closer to the heels. Press your heels when you come up. Good, let's do that 2 more times. Just really feeling your movement. Take your time so you can feel how your knees are coping if you are vulnerable in your knees. This feels fine. Oh, fortunate you. And last one. Good. If anyone's ready to just sit from here, you can try mobilizing your feet a little bit more by swinging your body from side to side or your hips from side to side. And if you're not quite ready to sit, it's harder to do with the legs out wide, actually. So it might be a bit of a inelegant landing. So the easiest way to do it is with your ankles crossed. So they're the closest together. The further apart the legs are, the harder it is. Let's sit onto a blanket. It's very humid here today. Forward bends are very useful in hot weather. They stretch big muscles, the big muscles in the back of the legs or in the back of the buttocks or the lower back. And when those muscles cool down, we cool down. So they expel heat. Sitting so that your spine feels long. And I've got the blanket under my sit bone so that it helps the pelvis tip forward. And we're going to find our forward movement by waving. So we'll wave the chest forward and then the chest back and then the chest forward and the chest back, and keep going. And you do this scanning and noticing your lower back following and your pelvis following. And I didn't mention, you don't have to have crossed legs. You might be more comfortable with your legs out straight. Now there's another direction to the wave. So see if you can find that. If you think about the chest moving back to begin with, and then forward. We're mobilizing all of those little muscles that we use for forward and back bending. And they have to keep up, but don't rush. Keep it slow. Okay, come back up to center. Now we want to find our maximum range of movement in the forward bend, but I want you to first bring your focus to your hips and try to just tip the pelvis forward. We're not going to worry about the rest of the torso. It can just go wherever it follows. But the hips forward, or the pelvis tipping forward like a ball. Tipping forward. And then bring the lower back forward. If you can press the bones forward. And then the middle back. And then the top of the head reaches as far as you can. We start the movement from the pelvis, from the sit bones. And then put your hands where they make sense to support you. So if you're more upright, they're maybe behind your hips. If you're more forward, then under your shoulders or even out in front. And finding your breath. And bring your focus to the back of the pelvis, to the buttock muscles that are stretching here, to the lower back muscles. And as though you could take breath to that part of the body. Appreciating where there is tension. The muscular form that stops you from continuing to move forward. Just appreciating your body. But you might also find with your attention there that the tension in that part of your body might not really be necessary. So with each breath, exploring what your movement might bring. Following the breath into the movement. Beautiful. We're going to come up, and if your legs are crossed, change the cross of the legs. If they're out straight, you might want to give them a little movement at the knees. And then we begin our forward bend again by thinking about the pelvis. We try to get that part of the body moving first. And we know from the waving that the spine can just follow along. So we're tipping the pelvis forward. And then think about your lower back vertebra and embed them forward. And then your middle back, where they attach to, your spine attaches to your rib, pressing that forward. But until you find your whole range of forward movement, and put your hands where it supports. So if you're more upright, put your hands behind your feet. But the intention, even though if you're upright, the intention is still spine moving forward. And we're going to bring our focus now to the lower back. The buttock muscles, the sacrum, and notice where the resistance is. And we need resistance. We need our body's protection mechanism. But if you follow the breath rather than your perception into the movement, see if that makes a difference. Feel what's going on and follow the breath. Nice work. And then coming up. Great. And we're going to lay down. And that part of the body that we were just stretching in our forward range of movement, we're going to give it a little release in the back bending shape. So take your blanket and put it under your hips. So you do that by bending your legs, putting your feet on the floor, lifting your hips and sliding the blanket. Okay. Place the blanket under the sacrum so your lower back gets to sink down to the floor. And it might feel a little like it's holding tension at first. Depends on the rate that your muscles recover between those strong movements, particular to each person. So if it helps to just very gently massage your sacrum, rocking your legs from side to side, or even hugging your legs in for a moment and doing that, and then putting them back. Try different things to see if you can find this opposite movement now in your lower back is comfortable. Now we can make that stronger, and you don't have to go stronger if that's enough, and you're just concentrating on releasing and relaxing by picking the feet up, crossing the feet at the ankles, and not everyone has long enough arms to reach their feet. I'm just going to do it because it helps me get my feet onto the floor right under the sit bones. So don't do this if it feels too strong, and you just relax your arms then. So a little bit extra back bend in the lower back and a stretch for the hip flexors. People doing that extra cross-legged stretch, you need to change the cross of the leg, so the other ankle in front. And the trick is really to get the heel as close under the line of your sit bones as you can for the biggest stretch. Sometimes you might try this and think, oh, that's so strong, I can't possibly. You probably could do it without the blanket more comfortably, but just today, take it easy. So if it hurts, of course, don't do it. I didn't mean just today, take it easy. I like taking it easy. Lovely. And then we're going to release that side. Just put your feet back down if you were doing the cross leg stretch. And just for a moment, tuning right into your lower back and the belly. Great. We're going to take the blanket out now. Let's put the hands down on the floor and feet are hip width parallel. And we're going to lift just the hips off the floor so the lower back is pressing. And then bone by bone of the spine. So again, it's not quite a wave because we can't really move the whole spine. We can't move the head and the neck. But feeling the articulation between the bones of your spine in a way that feels really good for your body. So keep your legs parallel, lifting your spine up and down off the floor. Mobilizing all those little joints. Beautiful. All right, bring the inside edges of the feet together, knees together, lift the hips, they go left, knees go right. And we're going to take the left arm out from your left shoulder, but then if it feels good, take the arm higher towards your ear. So you'll get where the stretch happens in those deeper muscles of the chest across the front of the rib bone. You find where it feels good for you. And if you like, you can make the stretch even bigger by straightening out your left leg. Oh, it might be too strong. You can keep it bent. And you can turn your head to look over your left arm. Nice big breath. Yeah. Or 2. Or 10. Okay, bend your left leg, bending your left arm, and use your core to lift your legs back to center. Wow. I remember when I started doing yoga, I couldn't lift my legs up without hurting my back. And those days are gone. Okay, we're going to lift the hips and put them to the right and knees to the left. And you're going to explore what you need for your right shoulder, right arm. So it could go straight out from your shoulder, or you can lift it towards your ear, and the muscle fibers over the ribs are going to stretch closer to the bottom of the ribs, the higher the arm goes. And if you like that last little add on, the right leg goes out to straight as well. Beautiful. Bend your right leg. Bend your right arm. Use your core muscles to bring your leg back up to center and hug your knees into your chest. Rocking a little from side to side until you're ready to turn to your right side and come up to sitting. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.